I have a question for you all in the chat. I want you to think back really quick for me. And I want you to tell me, what were the first 2 records that you recall blending together for the first time? Tell me that. Think about that. I'd love to share your answers and shout it out. The 2 songs that you remember. We'll do a little roundtable and talk about that as we go throughout the show tonight. But if I can I tell you all a story? Can I tell you a story of how it all started for me? 2 songs that I remember mixing together. It landed in the decade we're talking about, the 90s. Do the math. That's how long I've been a DJ. Back when Technique 1200s ruled and realistic cassettes and Radio Shacks were actually open. I went to a Radio Shack recently. There's a few still mysteriously out there, but
I miss Radio Shack.
Boy, if you need a cable in a pinch, you don't have to wait for Amazon Prime.
Come on, that Battery Club card.
There was a skills school, Spokane, Washington, where I went to school. And the skills school was that in between for high schoolers and college kids. And it was generally these big industrial looking buildings, but they'd have maybe a gymnasium in there. Maybe they'd have automotive workshop where they'd bring a car in and kids after school would go in and tool with cars if they wanted to be maybe an automotive expert. And I remember right next to the gymnasium, there was this little 4-walled small room with maybe one window. And I remember peeking inside of it one day, and there was this red-haired kid named Mike in there. And Mike was playing with these big, I'm going way back. Does anybody remember reel-to-reels? The big tape looking like movie projector dealy bobs. I walked by that and I was heading into the automotive department and I see him like tooling, like twisting the reel-to-reels. And I'm like, what the heck is he doing? And it didn't occur to me that was a radio station booth. I thought it was actually part of the auto mechanics garage next door. I thought he was working on car parts, to be straight up honest with you. When I first was 13 years old, I'm like, what is that room? And I got to know Mike over time because he was one of the taller kids, and we both tried to play basketball in that gymnasium during summer school. But my point is, he taught me the art of cutting and editing. And I remember him putting 2 songs together, blew my mind. He had a reel-to-reel where he put CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. If y'all remember that, I'm not going to attempt to sing it, but you know that classic track? It was 113 beats per minute, if I recall. Body dance now. Someone was going to do it. Thank God it wasn't me.
You always ask me with your eyes, Aaron, so I just have to...
You're familiar with the song. And then Vanilla Ice Ice Baby. And I never heard Vanilla Ice up until that point. I had no idea who this person was, but Mike was telling me, be on the lookout for Ice. He's going to be huge. We all know how that turned out. But I was mesmerized by how he was able to sync the beats together, where he was able to take, yes, that song with Pull Up Ice Ice Baby. They're both in the same tempo. And that one, and then, and I was like, whoa, how did he do this? Because up until that point, I was thinking about flipping over the auto reverse on my Sony Walkman to listen to a transition of a song. You know what I mean? I never heard a blend before. And it was at that point that I was shifted off to college back in Montana. And I never got the answer of how he edited those 2 songs together. I never had a clue. In my head, it was a mystery. It was baffling. It was so cool. He blended songs together that weren't supposed to be made like that. They didn't come out that way, but Mike made it. And he left me that summer with that mystery in my head. And I was shipped off to Montana at that point with a question in my mind thinking, how in the heck did Mike do that? How did he mix Everybody Dance Now into Ice Ice Baby? I'm almost glad Mike never told me, because we just only saw each other from time to time after that. But he left me with the questioning, and I'm still looking for that today. Every day I'm looking for songs to combine. I'm always looking for that combination of 2 songs together. And if you're with me, I want to hear the answers in the chat. What were the songs that you mixed together? What gave you that rush? We're going to talk about the decade that brought me into the DJ industry. We're going to talk about the hits that defined this generation. If you're in the young school category, welcome aboard. We're going to educate you. We're going to get you up to speed on all of this. We're going to teach you the ways, young Padawan. And I'm going to bring in your sorcerer, the ultimate hacker, the man who truly taught me how to mix. I'm going to put it out there like that. I'm going to tell you, this is the man. You taught me how to mix. Did you know that?
You're talking to me.
It's pretty safe to say you probably taught a lot of people how to mix. Why would that be? Can you give it Flashback
Well-
as to what you used to do.
Probably for a lot of DJs, my Party to Go series that I created when I was head of A&R and staff producer at Tommy Boy Records, that was the beginning for a lot of guys. And that's what it was supposed to be. That's why I wanted them to be mixed club style, and I wanted to feature remixes. And it was the first time it was ever done in a commercial release. And yeah, I do get that a lot from DJs. Older DJs who are like, yo, that was the first time I ever heard a mix, or I used to go out and get them so when I was gigging and doing a wedding, I could go to the bathroom.
It was the ultimate party mix and the biggest, it was a bathroom break. I'm sure that you walked into some clubs before and you saw some people pretending to DJ to your CD, right?
Oh yeah, many times. And by the way, backing up to your reel-to-reel, there were two reasons why we used a reel-to-reel. Every DJ booth I ever spun in New York or New Jersey, we actually had a reel-to-reel, and that was how we created slapback echo when we wanted to use an echo effect. That was the only way to do it. And of course, that was how we were editing our own remixes in the studio. A reel-to-reel, a grease pencil, a splicing block, and a razor blade.
You were showing me some of the really insanely expensive gear and some of the stuff that you had to finagle to get a mix laid down like that. And there's a previous episodes you can find on our website that he'll show you you've seen the graduation of DJing, not only for clubs, but also for radio along the way.
Yeah.
You've graduated from not just the Party to Go series, but from that point on, you launched your own syndicated radio mix show as well, correct?
Yeah, and been doing that for quite a while, and lots of record production and radio and recording studio stuff. That's just been my whole life. Every aspect of music, from making it in a recording studio to getting it played on the radio and working on the radio. So yeah, now in addition to production and still spinning in the clubs and whatnot. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, I've got my nationally syndicated mix show that's syndicated all across the country on mainstream top 40 radio. And it is a 2-hour mix show where I take all the big pop hits every single week, totally reproduce them and mix them all together. It's like a weekly contemporary Party to Go. And it's,
you never lost your touch with trying to stay on top of the hits, because you were really blending the beats and producing them, that you never quite lost your knack for that. You want to continue to pursue it.
Yeah, an interesting backstory to Party to Go. DJs really know it, and the consumer public knows it, obviously, because every one of them has gone gold and or platinum. It's the biggest selling dance compilation series in music history still to this day. And back when I was starting these in 1990, AIDS was ravaging New York City, where I worked, and a lot of people in the music business. And a portion of the proceeds from every record sold went to AIDS and cancer research. And I'm happy to say that like over $30 million has gone to those sources as a result of Party to Go.
It's a legacy, and it continues, and it's inspired many. One of the reasons why we're here, one of the reasons why Crate Hackathons even exist. Do your research. Hackers know the full story. If it wasn't for me taking HK's show and putting it on the airwaves back in Montana, you're starting to put the pieces together. I started to follow this man's playlists, and I'm not going to lie to you. There would be times where I would be creatively uninspired, and I would take a look at your playlist right before you were going to air it on my radio show. And I was about to go do a club the same weekend, and I'd be pulling down some of your remixes that were going to air that weekend, because I just knew that you knew what the hits were. It was nice to know I could always rely on you for studying up on the charts. How do you stay up on the charts?
Absolutely. In addition to being a total tech nerd geek and geeking out on equipment and knowing the newest equipment every day of every week, tying for that would be what a obsessed music geek I am. It's funny, we're going to do this 90s dance party crate today, but of course, having a syndicated mix show on top 40, my responsibility is not only to be on top of the hits, but I am also forecasting the hits. Program directors at radio stations all over the country are looking at what I'm playing in my mix show before they decide whether it should go into heavy rotation or regular rotation. So I'm also all about not only playing the hits, but breaking the hits. And to do that, you got to keep your finger on the pulse. And it's easy. For me, it's not work, Aaron, because I'm just obsessed with music. And I get over 1,000 tracks at least every single month, and I'm getting stuff months before you'll ever hear it on the radio, and I listen to every single thing I'm serviced with.
We're seeing some great comments in the chat. Not ignoring you all. I'm seeing CNC Music Factory into Black Box Strike It Up from Michael Boglino. David Roman, he mixed Flashlight into Rapper's Delight. That's great. I could hear that in my head. Eddie Acosta said his first mix was Rapper's Delight with Chick, Good Times. Humpty Dance, Rump Shaker. Let me clear my throat. Ooh, good combo, Todd Sigmiller. See, we're in the pocket. This is it. We brought in a heavy hitter. Such a decorated career this man has. Needless to say, he also signed many 90s artists, including, to the top of my head, Naughty by Nature, House of Pain. HK, you were in the room with Tommy Boy Records when these major artists were signed or something of that nature.
Yeah, I oversaw the careers of Queen Latifah, Naughty by Nature, House of Pain, Coolio, Digital Underground, Stetsasonic, RuPaul, Information Society, and was in the studio with them when those songs were being made for many of them. So it was a blessed period in the 90s, my record exec years, to be a part of crossing hip hop over to pop and the beginning of electronic music. I mean, it was really an exciting time, super cool time.
Let me show you exactly how people are gravitating towards the 90s today. You're just as obsessed with charts as I am. I did a little analytics myself before the show and came across some findings I'd love to share, some interesting new trends. So in other words, it's 2023, and we know that we're always in search of hit music, but let's talk about the 90s in 23. Here's how we came up with today's crate. Pay attention to your screen, everyone. By the way, thank you all for tuning in. If you're on the replay on YouTube, this is a great time to hit subscribe. We're always doing this every Tuesday night. In case you are not here for the live, we would love to have you catch the replay on YouTube. This is the way formula works. Every crate works like this: a popularity score of 60% or higher, our danceability score of 60% or higher, energy 40, mood 40. It's our 60-40 approach to every single crate we've ever built. Anytime you open up a Crate Hackers crate, we do our best to lean into this. And what this really means is we're going to give you 60% of the hits that are verified by DJs like HK and others on the screen with us today. And then we allow you 40% to bring your gut and your instinct into your sets. So you're always going to be provided and leaned on with your Crate Hacker community. We got your back on the dance floor and in your collection. But then what was noticeable to me when I was going through the charts in the 90s specifically was, let me tell you, it'll be interesting to see once we unlock this crate, how much pop music there is that people like and how much rap music people like. It's going to be a real battle between pop in the 90s and rap in the 90s. I'd like to see in the chat, before we even crack this open, what is going to be the predominant? If you haven't looked in the crate, give me your best guess. What's more popular now, 90s pop or 90s rap? Tell me. John Reyes thinks it's hip hop. Jay Dowd thinks it's pop. Depends on the crowd. I'm not talking about the crowd right now, David. I'm talking about the data, that popularity scores like TikTok and Billboard and Spotify. We haven't hit the dance floor yet. What I've taken is the popularity score, and it's shown me some indicators that I think you're going to really appreciate. So the way we open this up is we play hacker. If you have a second monitor or a second tab or even a mobile phone right now, I want you all to go to your second screen and type in this browser. You ready for the second crate? Let's go. It's crateoftheweek.com. Crateoftheweek.com. Hit me right now. Crateoftheweek.com. That's crateoftheweek.com. It's going to take you to our 90s hip hop crate. And I'm going to bring HK back on the channel with us really quick, and we're going to unlock this crate with a couple of his suggestions. You're going to notice a padlock too. When I bring this crate over, you're going to notice that it needs your input. HK, can you see the padlock on the screen right now? I'm going to tap into your brain right now. But first, let's try to paint a picture. If we're going to go 90s dance party, paint me a picture. Like, what kind of party are we getting ourselves into here?
It's a lot of pop and a lot of hip hop. Pop and hip hop ruled in the 90s. Don't forget, the early to mid 90s was the launch of grunge out of Seattle. But pop and hip hop ruled. Everything from some of our favorite hip hop music, whether it's House of Pain or Naughty by Nature or MC Hammer or Vanilla Ice or Salt and Pepper. I could go on and on. Tupac, Dr. Dre, all of that.
Give me one pop song and one rap song.
One pop song and one rap song. Okay, pop song would have to be Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way. And I'm going to say Dr. Dre and Snoop, Nothing But a G-Thang.
You took one of my picks. That was going to be mine. All right. So it's as simple as this. If you are joining us right now, either on the replay or live on your screen, creek.com, you give us 2 song choices just like HK did. And we're asking for 90s. We're asking for up-tempo dance party. What a dance party. So I'm guessing going to be a little bit open format. Are you ready to see the results? Is everybody ready? Can I get a 1 in the chat? Are you ready to see what we got? 1. Give me a 1. Come on. Where are you at? 1. We're taking it back to the old school.
1.
1. All right. Give me your favorite 90s catchphrase. 90s catchphrase. What's your favorite 90s catchphrase?
Yeah, boy.
Joey Lawrence. Whoa. What's up? What's up? Don't have a cow, man. Word. Love it. I love it. Keep them coming. All right. I'm going to unlock this crate. And before I do, on the left-hand side, yeah, you know me. Left-hand side is going to be the data that I was talking about, the TikToks, the billboards, all the chart stuff. And on the right-hand side, it's the working class DJ like you. All right. It's a battle of the charts. And we're cracking it open right now. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Check your screen. This is our 90s Dance Party Hackathon. Already in the lead, Jay Dowd with Barbie Girl. Ricardo Wilson got the Ice Baby. You know what? Ricardo, you got my vote. I'm going to take that little thumbs up button and hit that to the top. Montel Jordan slowly sliding up to the top spot. Scott Lipinski with 4 likes, 5 likes. We got 5 likes now for Ricardo Wilson and Ice Baby. Aqua Girl sliding down to 3rd. Jay Dowd, come on, get some thumbs up, buddy. Chris Jump by Dave Hodges. Not bad. Never cared for that song, so I wish there was a thumbs down button. I don't like it. It was just Barbie Girl. Are we doing that now because it's the movie of the weekend? Is that what we're doing? Are we really bringing Barbie Girl up? You're not doing it. Are you bringing Barbie Girl up to the top today? Is that what's happening?
160 million at the box office this past weekend.
I'm not going to lie, dude. I snuck in last night and I watched it by myself. I was the only man. I was wearing black. It was really the wrong choice. I looked like a creep, but I love that movie. I damn near cried.
Critics and audiences alike are loving it.
Good, dude.
Yeah.
Really good. Ooh, look, a new contender coming up. Eddie Acosta's got Pump Up the Jam.
Nice.
I'm going to give that one a thumbs up.
Yep.
Michael Kennedy's got Everybody, Backstreet Boys. Nice. I'll give that one a thumbs up. Okay, so I'm going to slowly bring over the data. And now, HK, let's you and I look at this together. Initial thoughts as we slowly scroll down. What are your thoughts as we see some of the songs on the screen?
So far, so good. So far, so good. What a man. You know what also should be up there is Salt and Pepper and In Vogue.
Oh, which one? There's
Remember
so many good In Vogue tracks.
Yeah,
What a
remember
man.
the collab they did?
What a man.
What a man. Thank you. What a man. What a mighty fine man. Yeah.
I agree.
Went to number 3. What a man went to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. And
Look what happened to a leaderboard. Todd Sigmiller got 9 likes for Bella DeVoe's Poison. That happened fast. All right, keep moving. We got What a Man. We got No Diggity.
definitely. I could think of other Tupac songs other than How Do You Want It.
Agreed. California Love.
Definitely got to be California Love.
See, okay, now, are you starting to notice trends over here on the data? Ignore everything on the right-hand side. Look on the left. We were all talking about pop and rap, right? What are you seeing as the predominant?
Seen a lot of rhythmic.
Me too.
Yeah, a lot of rap.
A lot of rap. What does that mean?
Let's face it, man. Rap exploded in the 90s. It crossed over pop. In the 70s and 80s, it was a subculture. And in the 90s is when rap went mainstream.
It really was. Yeah, it felt to me pop had its heyday, its most inventive, incredible times during the 80s. We gave a decade of time to the 80s. There wasn't any really much rap until the very late part of the 80s, but it wasn't until the 90s that rap had their moment to shine. It's obvious that looking at the scores, we're going to lean a lot more into that department. I love it.
And other than Garth Brooks, Shania Twain, there was very little, and Randy Travis, there was country was not nearly the phenomenon that it is now. That's why I say in the 90s, man, it was all about pop and hip hop. Grunge was coming into its own, and country had a very small kind of elite group of artists, but it wasn't as big as it is now. Now country's crossed over mainstream. In the 2000s, country has crossed over mainstream the way hip hop did in the 90s.
Yeah. But you also notice that the 90s country tracks still have that lasting power that can still sound great today. They age really well. 90s country music still sounds wonderful today because they're still working with the original instruments for the most part. And yeah, you can really tell a distinct difference. But
yeah, in fact, on my all-time biggest hits of the 90s, preparing for this, I've got 2 Shania Twain songs that made it on my list.
Oh, okay. Let's add that to it. Let's go ahead and bring our screen back, and then give me a couple more suggestions we should add to this Crate, HK.
Let's see. I didn't see any Eminem on there. Is there?
So I was looking at Without Me. That one came out in 2001. The only song that came out in the 90s, to my knowledge, that was a hit was Real Slim Shady. So I believe that made the cut.
Also, My Name Is.
That was it. That was it. My Name Is, yeah.
Yeah,
Marshall Mathers LP, I believe, was 99, wasn't it?
Yeah, yep, 99.
Okay, so My Name Is definitely on there then. All right, cool. And then give me another one.
You're Still the One was the #2 song in the country in 1998, Shania Twain.
Are we dropping this at a dance party? Are we gonna do it as slow dance, buddy?
There's great dance versions of that, but there's also I've got another one. Hang on a second. Let me pull.
I mean, the girls would go for it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, every club I'm in, I get women still coming up and requesting Shania Twain when I'm doing an open format. Yeah, when I'm doing an open format night, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Come to Nashville, buddy.
Here's one that people may not remember, but that was a huge hit and made it on my party to go in 1990. And that's Delight, Groove is in the Heart.
Yeah, man.
That was a good one. Or Jamiroquai, Virtual Insanity, 1997. Don't forget Cher's Believe.
For sure. All right. Ooh, stacking up real well. Nice. Hey, it looks like it's about that time. HK, have you seen this game yet? Oh, it's great. You ever play a round of ones and O's?
I can't say I have. Let's go for it.
I'm going to shake things up. It's the bottom of the hour. At the bottom of the hour during our hackathons, we do a little crate organization, if you will. What we looked at was a jumble of songs, and so far so good, right? But just like every crate, some have to go, some can stay, but it's a lot better if we got people like HK to help us out. So you saw everyone doing the ones in the chat. Give me a 0 in the chat. Let me make sure your zeros are working in the chat. 0, first 0, I'm going to shout you out. Who is it? Whoa, they're flying by. Look at that. Who was the first? Garrett, DJ Bowtie. What's up, dude? How you doing? Chris Harvey in second place with the O. All right, so ones and O's. That's how it works. I'm going to play a song. I'm going to give you a few seconds, and you all tell me, should we keep it or should it be kicked out? Ones and O's. Simple as that. HK, all you have to do is do me a favor and tell me when to stop the wheel. It landed on Funky, Cold Medina. Ones and O's.
You know what I'm saying? I
got one. Got a 1. Jay's got a 1. DJ Blake's got a 1. Jermaine's got a 1. Jermaine, keep going with the ones, buddy. Hector with the 1. Joseph with the 1. Bob with the 1. Eddie Acosta with the 1. James with the 1. Angel. Oh, man, I have not seen a 0 yet. Still going, huh? Oh, Andrew.
Oh, there we go. A 0 came in.
He just wanted attention.
Oh, man.
All right.
Somebody just wanted to mess with us. That looked like a clean sweep to me.
HK, I don't think I need to ask, but would that be a 1 or an O from you?
Oh, that would be a 1 from me, man.
You're catching on. Hypnotize, Biggie.
Do we even have to vote?
1. Rest in peace, Biggie. Come on, keep those ones. 1. We don't even need to debate. There is no question all night long. Yeah. If it was not,
I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna. I may not make any friends, or I might lose friends with this. But if any DJ thinks that song should get a 0, you need to turn in your DJ card.
I'll never understand that East Coast, West Coast battle.
I'm sorry. I don't care where you are. That track will turn it out 10 out of 10 times.
I was in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and I heard them playing California Love. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. They can do that. Tell me when to stop, buddy. I landed on Sugar Ray's Fly. Interesting. 0. Really? 0. Yeah. See what I mean? 0. I've never seen a song do this bad. I'm just going to push stop now. Is that hard on your ears, everyone? I'm sorry.
I agree. I agree with those zeros. It's interesting. This is a song that if it comes on the radio and I'm driving in the car, I'm going to roll down the window and I'm going to bop my head because I honestly like this song, but I would never program this song. I would never have it in a mix set. So I can't even explain that, but I love it when I'm in the car. It's a cool song, but for me, that's just not something I would ever put in my DJ set.
No, you just explained it to a T. That's the definition of 90s pop. It felt so radio safe that I never feel a need to play it on the dance floor today. It doesn't give me that energy that I need for a DJ party.
I would maybe fool around with the stems and make a crazy friggin' tech house remix of it so I could work it in and just have enough of a familiar sound just to mess with people's heads. They'll be like, holy shit, is that sugar? But as is, yeah, I wouldn't program that. Yeah.
Jermaine says drunk girl dancing. Justin the DJ says maybe during dinner. Writing music. That's exactly what it is. Sheldon says writing music. Yep.
Maybe I'd play someday, but not fly, because he sampled Malo's Suavecito there.
True. I just always pigeonholed Sugar Ray as the Nickelback of the 90s. That was me. Somebody fight me. Fight me for it. Give me one more.
No, that's hard to argue with that statement.
Tell me when to stop. It landed on Motown, Philly. Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry. One. Yep. Man, I missed the bass. What was that guy's name? They lost him later on. Help me with the name. It's been so long.
No, they're still together.
Didn't they lose one of them? Didn't they lose one of the boys? Anyway, I love them. Motown Philly, New Jack Swing. I saw a few people in the chat talking about that. You were there for the rise of New Jack Swing. You helped usher that into the eardrums in the day, right?
Oh, yeah. I had Teddy Riley in my studio producing Force MDs.
What? Teddy Riley?
Yeah.
Or you not able...
Wow. The king of New Jack Swing. I hired him to do a song for Force MDs on Tommy Boy. Remember Force MDs?
Yeah, of course.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did a song for their album. Teddy Riley did a song for their album. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was a demo tape too for.
Oh, that's right. You've seen a lot of big names, and you were really there for the 90s artists to come in and out. Was there ever a time where you were the most starstruck?
Me?
Yeah.
I still get starstruck just because I'm such a music geek, and I just love and appreciate and respect real talent, and to be in the room with those people, let alone to be a part of the process, or to even just sit on the sofa behind the console and observe it, let alone be a part of their career. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I was just I'll digress for a second. I was just back in New York and New Jersey last week visiting family and friends, and I was in an art gallery, and just by chance, the owner of the art gallery and the artist, someone introduced me to him, and they were like, oh, we hear you're a music guy and blah, 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 blah. And his daughter, long story short, his daughter had just finished doing a song with KG from Naughty by Nature, and who had produced it, but he had produced it about 2 years ago and nothing happened to it. And yet they played it for me, and I heard it and I really liked it. And I said, so what's KG doing with it? And they're like, we don't know. Nothing's happened for 2 years. I said, let's get him on the phone right now. And I call him up right then and there. And I'm like, yo, dude, this song is great. What's happening? We had this like whole conversation. And anyway, it was just really funny. But that it goes back to say that I do get starstruck. I really do. And I have to pinch myself when I'm hanging out in the studio or I'm backstage interviewing artists who I just absolutely love. I'll turn to my wife when I'm all done and be like, did that just happen? And I've been doing this for decades. And I still have that holy shit moment when I meet people that I really respect and love and just think.
It's fun to watch him because on the weekends, he'll do whatever he can to get to the nearest concert. He's in St. Paul, Minneapolis, and a lot of big shows coming through, and he'll somehow find his way backstage to many of the big shows that come through. And just the look on his eyes whenever he's standing next to a celebrity like Lizzo or some of the biggest names I've ever seen. He's just totally a fanboy.
And I'm a total fanboy. And I do have an interview segment where I interview everybody that's in the top 40s. Yeah. Whether it's country, Dan and Shay, or whether it's Lizzo, or whether it's Billie Eilish, or whether it's a rap act, it doesn't matter. We'll hang out. I'll get to do an interview with them, because then I'll take that segment and I might take a 30-minute or a 1-hour interview and cut it down to a 2 or 3 minute segment to put it in the mix show. But it's nice to be able to still do that. It scratches that itch for me.
90s music is going to be a decade that gets further and further away from us, and the DJs are going to be younger and younger as they continue to enter into the fold. We've got a lot of seasoned vets on the channel with us, and there might be some people here who are eagerly curious about this because they're getting requests or they want to flesh out their 90s crate. Give the Padawan, HK. Give the younglings a little 90s if you could.
DJ culture in the 90s, it was so different than now, just because of the technology didn't exist and the internet didn't exist. So to me, that's the real stark difference. Back in the 90s, to get into a club, you had to really network with promoters and with club owners and bar managers, and it was a face-to-face business. When now it was a small elite group of people in every major city that had the club gigs and had the relationships. And now there's just a million gazillion DJs out there, in addition to professional DJs like us who are working in clubs or doing events and private events and weddings and everything. There's just a gazillion bedroom DJs out there because the equipment is so accessible, and everybody's streaming on TikTok and YouTube and Snapchat. So the point being that I thought it was hard to break through the noise in the 90s when it was such a small elite group, but I think it's even harder now for DJs because there's so many platforms, whether you're in a club or not, where you can go out and get a controller for $200 and you can go on YouTube and go on Twitch and go on Kick, and you can create a fan base that way. So I think it's a bigger competitive pool, which means everybody's got to up their game and do something different. Also, back in the day, you just had to be a good DJ. Now, not only do you have to be a good DJ, but you got to be a great marketer. You got to be great at social media. There's so many balls in the air that you have to juggle. I think it's more difficult now than it was.
I don't know about that. See, I'm looking at Michael Demby, who's currently in the chat, and he's on a roll right now. He's making flashback statements. We wore cummerbunds and bow ties, and he's not wrong. Jermaine says we had to get music from a store. So let's think about that for a second. And also, Michael continues by saying we printed out flyers and stuck them on car windshields. Howard, it's funny that you mentioned about how we have to stay up on our game, but the gear has gotten smaller and lighter. The speakers are now powered. We don't have to be lugging around the big ass amplifiers anymore. And I remember my Wednesday, Thursday, Friday days as a teen. I was a rave promoter back when you would actually call a number and you'd get a mystery flyer saying the secret location will be announced on this number at a certain time. I'd be the guy passing out that flyer.
Yeah, and you waited for your pager to blow up.
Yeah, the pager.
Your beeper, right?
But you think about all of these things that we've no longer had to do, and all that exhausting work that going to the store to actually physically buy things at Radio Shack or at the music store or promoting without the internet. And here I am, bitching and moaning last week about having to update my new Threads account. It's gotten so much easier. We cannot complain.
Easier in some ways, but I like the technology has made DJing easier without a doubt. But to have a career in it, I think in many ways it's more difficult because there were so few people doing it back then. All you had to do was have the desire and you could do it. And now there's so many people doing. That's what I mean is more difficult. There's so many people. So to draw attention.
I don't think easy is the right word, HK. I think accessible. DJing is accessible. It's not easy. It's accessible, right?
Thank you. Yes. Very accessible now.
It's a strange, wild, exciting world. And yet, even through the decades, we debate music and we debate genres and we build crates. So let's keep that party going.
That's what DJs should be doing. We should always be talking about music. That's what I love about Crate Hackers. It's so easy to get lost in all the minutia, but what was it that made all of us want to DJ? I'll bet anything it started with a love of music, or you were the kid on the block who had the biggest record collection. And that conversation should never stop.
I want to get that conversation rolling today. Following a Q&A, would anybody like to share their 45-second to a minute story about how they started as a DJ in the 90s, or a 90s story? I'd love to hear your story. Let's reminisce. I'd love to get some micro stories at the end. So start thinking about that. Radio, if you wouldn't mind stacking those up. There's so many stories, and music is, of course, the thing that brings it all together. So let's get back on track, but reminisce along the way. Reminder, we're working with our Crate of the Week. Crateoftheweek.com is where we're going to head over to. If you're watching the YouTube replay, have you subscribed yet? Come on. Is it my voice? What am I doing wrong? Can you tell me in the comments what I'm doing that will make you stay longer or not? Or
Aaron, you need to get better at the ASMR.
Just subscribe.
Crinkling paper.
Maybe I just need better thumbnails. Is that it? Do I need better YouTube thumbnails?
Let's use the sound of drinking water as a music bed.
Let's go ahead and play some rhythm roulette. Are you ready? Let's shake things up. Rhythm roulette. Have you ever played this game before, HK?
No, I think this is my first hackathon. I've been with you since before Crate Hackers existed, but I don't know all the rules. I don't know all the rules here.
You've been on hackathons before, but not like this one.
No, I've been a guest on hackathons, but I've never participated in the building of the Crate live.
Dang it, everyone make them feel welcome. I feel like it's been too long. Give it up for HK if you're enjoying his company tonight. One's in the chat, One for HK. Come on, keep it coming. This is Rhythm Roulette. Rhythm Roulette works like this. Pretend like you have your reel-to-reel or your Technique 1200 or your Pioneer 1000s, and that song is coming to an end. You got 30 seconds left in the song, and you have not queued up the next track. Oh my gosh, what do you do? What do you do? Eat my shorts, man. We're going to play ourselves a round of Rhythm Roulette, and I'm going to go ahead and throw a song back up on crateoftheweek.com. And then, HK, you're going to tell me what you would mix next. So let me share my screen.
No, this is going to get interesting.
This is fun. This is fun for DJs too, who want to find that next track to mix. So let me set the stage real quick. I'm going back to crateoftheweek.com. You can always find your hackathon crates at the bottom of cratehackers.com. Sound so I don't blow up your speakers. Now, just like we did before, tell me when to stop, HK. Nice baby. Oh, the irony. Okay, the song's about ready to end. In the chat, what would you mix next? Funky Cold Medina says Michael. Good choice.
Good
Brian
choice,
says
good choice.
definitely not Sugar Ray. Sir Mix-a-Lot says Brian. All right. All right. Jermaine says Usher's yeah. Oh, Rick Roll. Oh, Bob says some Rick Astley. There you go. Bust a Move. Toby Johnson. I've done that one before. BBD thought it was me from Radio. Where the Party At from Lauren. Good choice. Under Pressure. Yeah, you know what you're doing there, Mike. Under Pressure was, of course, the sample from that track. What would you have mixed out of that, HK?
Tom's Diner.
Whoa. You went there. Nice. Good one. Okay, tell me when to stop. OPP by Naughty by Nature. By the way, it's a B8. Forgot to. Mike Baxter says Slam. DJ Bowtie says Hypnotize. ABC Jackson 5. Yes, Lauren, good choice. Onyx Slam from Todd Sickmiller. Michael Demi says yeah. Blow the Whistle from Stell, I believe it is. Chris says Jump Around. Jesse says Shoop. ABC from Jermaine. DJ Polly says Shoop. HK, what would have been your choice?
All good. Those were all good. I love to do a thing with ABC and work my way out of that.
Love it. Still got your vinyl behind you, I see.
Oh, yeah.
You got a lot of these copies on wax?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've got about my collection. I really pared it down over the years, the vinyl. I'm probably down to about 15, 20,000.
You got any copies of Vanilla Ice and CNC Music Factory?
Yes, I do. And two interesting stories. Wow, I'm really dating myself. I am older than dirt, aren't I?
I'm going to send you my mailing address, by the way. Yeah, but go ahead.
I have to open up a music museum one day when I get even older. I have Vanilla Ice's demo tape.
Stop. No, you don't.
That he gave me on cassette before he was signed. I have actually his original demo tape of Ice Baby.
Get out. No.
Yeah.
No. Uh-huh.
I discovered David Cole, and I co-produced a song with him called Keep It Warm, and it was signed to Next Plateau Records, the same label that Salt and Pepper was on, their original label. And I was telling everybody, keep your eye on this guy, David Cole. Keep your eye on this guy, David Cole. But I made the very first record with David, and then about 2 years later, he formed CNC Music Factory. Yeah.
And he's still doing it, I believe. Is he still every so often?
Sadly, David passed away some years ago.
But it was the other person who kept it alive, and CNC is still out there producing.
Robert Clavillis, yeah, he still does. Yeah, he still DJs and does production work. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's nuts. Yeah. All right, let's do one more round, and then it's off to a little more memory sharing and some Q&A with HK. Give me one more song to spin with Russian Roulette.
Spinning space. Stop.
Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera. Okay, that's a BPM of 80. What you got in the chat? Boy, I'd be doing Bye 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 from NSYNC. Kevin says Big Papa. But Denby says Too Close. Bombastic from Shaggy says Bob. Good choice. Some Backstreet Boys. Yep, can't go wrong with some boy bands for sure. 702 Steela. Good one. What a Man. Bye Bye Bye. Yep. All right, we're all talking the same language. What would you have played, HK?
In Vogue.
Oh yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Fun. Okay, Radio, get some questions lined up, and I'm gonna just real quick check the leaderboard before we get out of here and see how my hackers are doing. Over here on the right-hand side, Todd Sigmiller, I don't know if HK, but every time he always wins with the leaderboard. I think I owe him $250 by now, but he has 11 likes with Poison. Scott Lipinski has Montel Jordan in the second spot. And one of our personal faves, Pump Up the Jam, Eddie Acosta, Some Ice Baby, rounding out the top.
I like it. It's looking good. It's looking good.
Great.
The hackers are right in the pocket.
Thanks, HK. I'm going to step aside real quick for some Q&A. Radio, tell our hackers how they can interact with the final portion of the show.
For sure. I posted there in the chat. Fam, if you want to ask your question, click on the reactions at the bottom of the screen to the left of the leave button, and then choose raise hand so that we can call on you, just like we're about to call on Kevin, and we'll bring you up, ask a really quick question, and then we will mute you right after. So there's no follow-up questions so that we can make time for other things we're going to talk about. So please keep it short, and we'll be glad to welcome you in. Also, it'll be great if you have your cameras on too, so we can bring you into the picture. All right. And first, we got Kevin. Let's bring you in.
Hey, Howard, good to talk to you. I started in 1980, and listening to you, it sounds like you were like me, very quick to grasp onto new technologies that came out. I wasn't a holdout for digital. I first went in 2000 and crossed over. Is that basically what you've done to stay relevant? Because I'm going to be 56, and if you're not relevant, you're washed up.
That's exactly right. You have to stay relevant. You have to reinvent yourself. You always have to change the tools in the toolbox. I actually, even though I learned, as I stated earlier, like many people our age, how to edit in a studio with a razor blade and a grease pencil and a splicing block on reel-to-reel, I switched to all digital in 1990. I actually made the very first volume of my Party to Go series using the Technics SLP 1200s. It was the first digital CD player, and I still have them in my audio museum of equipment. These things like weigh 100 pounds each. They were so huge and so heavy, but it was way before the very first CDJ. And I got Techniques, gave me the players to use. I even gave them a special thank you. If you look on Party to Go Volume 1 or Volume 2, there it is.
Yeah, look at that classic, man. You built the Party to Go series on this. Two of these or one of these?
What I did was I got the digital masters. I converted of course, once I picked the songs that I wanted and the versions that I wanted, I then contacted the record labels and they would send me the actual studio master. And I would then take the 1/2-inch, 30-inch per second plus 6 dB master from the multi-track studio, and I transferred it over to our technology. This is back in 90. I was using the very first professional CD, recordable CD player. And then I loaded all the songs on individual CDR discs, and I mixed them in a recording studio on 2 of those SLP 1200s. And that was how I did the Party to Goes. Yeah. So couldn't agree with you more. And I've been a digital guy since 1990.
Damn, it's like the thing that would power the voice of Teddy Ruxpin. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I think I got the Philips recorder myself. So.
And even before my very first digital recorder and digital playback, those Technics SLPs, I had a Panasonic 3600. It was a DAT machine that we were using to record digitally in the recording studio. And that was digital audio tape. That's what DAT stood for. And I was actually using that even before I got into CDRs. Yeah.
You said Panasonic. Now all they're doing is making alarm clocks that they sell at Dollar General.
Right.
And they hair dryer. Let's go to Panasonic hair dryer.
Yeah. And they actually had which I still have, a very high-end professional digital audio tape machine. And they were these little DAT tapes that weren't much bigger than what you would put in an old phone answering machine. Yeah, it was, and but it was digital recording. It was phenomenal. And back then, instead of hauling these hundreds of pounds of audio tapes from studio to studio for studio sessions, you just had this little DAT tape you'd put it in your top pocket, and it was like a gift from God.
Okay, so next we've got Superb Herb. Let's bring you in.
Hey.
What's up? What's up? Yeah, I can relate to HK because I got all those things he's talking about. You got what you talking about that?
Oh yeah.
These cases, like you got 2 of them in there.
Yep, that's exactly
I even
right.
I even got a box of reel to reel because that technology changed so fast because I was recording in Jazzy J's recording studio in the Bronx. And we started out with actually we was on over there in the other Bronx. When he moved out, he was in his house. And then we moved to the Bronx. But we started at his house, we was using the 8-tracks. We went from the 16 8-track to the 2-inch, 1-inch to the 2-inch. We started with tapes, right? And then we went to, in that time we changed I went to digital with Ray Warnock. He was my keyboard player out in Brooklyn. And he started using the Apple computer. And that's when we started doing digital. And by the time I finished that was 2 tracks on the 8-track, 2 tracks on the digital. And then it went fully digital when I went to Wayne Warnock's studio out in Mamaroneck. So within 1 year, I went through 3 different formats, right? Wow. Analog like that. And Carlos Barrios, when we did the first 2, we did that down. We did the reel to reels on Broadway. We did a session there. And then we went the next time we went all digital on the rest of it.
It was like a discussion of, okay, what do I do at that point? Was it reel to reel, or do I put it on cassette, or do I put it on CD? Or it was that decision where
really have to make that decision. All the cassettes. I even took something when you was at, I think I probably remember you coming at HK because I was shopping my products. I used to just walk up and down Broadway to all the studios and drop off my demos and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Herbert,
you had them all queued up. I had them each one on one, just popping in. I knew all the AR people at that time.
What was your question, Herbert?
My question was, I stay relevant today. That's why I'm 72 next month. I started back just like everybody else did, the love of music. So from always from finals to 8 tracks.
I think we all need to know, how do we stay relevant?
I stay relevant. How do we stay relevant? As a new DJ, like I'm staying relevant by learning scratching because I was always a blender.
The way to stay relevant is to constantly expand your tool chest. And what I mean by that is, that's always how I refer to it. But what I mean by that is, and thanks for your question, is always experiment, always push yourself to try new techniques that you haven't done. If you're a mixer, then scratch. If you're a scratcher, learn how to be a great smooth beat mixer. When you can do both of those things, there's constantly new effects and types of technology that come out that allow you to now layer techniques on what you already know, and then you can add them into your transitions. And when you start getting into adding these cool layer effects while you're transitioning from one song to another, irregardless of how you do it, whether you're a beat mixer, a turntablist, or whatever, when you keep adding to your repertoire, I think that not only makes you better at what you do, but it also makes you more valuable to getting gigs. And first and foremost, that's the thing. Never, no matter what age you are, just keep practicing your craft. The best DJs, the best singers, the best musicians are people who never get bored, and they're constantly perfecting their craft. They never sit idle. Prince was a genius because he never, ever let a day go by where he wasn't recording something. It didn't matter whether he had to release an album or not. Every day of that man's life, he went into the studio and he recorded. And that's why there's thousands and thousands of songs in the vault at Paisley Park that they'll be releasing long after we're gone, because he just never stopped. And I think it's the same with great DJs. It's the same with people, with all people who are talented, whether you're a painter, a sculptor, a potterer. It's constantly pushing yourself to learn new things that make you better at what you know you already do.
Okay, perfect. And we got Todd. Let's bring him, man. What up, Todd?
What's up, everybody? Hey, HK.
Sick Miller, always picking out the hits.
I work on it. But yeah, my start, I've told Aaron, I think in radio this, I started actually on 2 Carver rack mountable CD players with a Newmark mixer, 2-channel Newmark mixer in between them, and a couple of those, what they called the Cerro Vega earth shakers, or maybe those great big huge Cerro Vegas for speakers. But my way I got into DJing in the late 80s, I was in the Air Force and I lucked into being in Brussels, Belgium when New Beat hit and electronic music and stuff. My question for you is, I really believe that, like a band you mentioned earlier, Information Society, then EMF, and these bands that sampled, they had samples in their music. I really think they're the reason we have EDM today. Do you agree with that or disagree? Or do you think we would have EDM if it wasn't for those early electronic bands?
I could not agree with you more. And proof of that, when you're having a hard time falling asleep one night and you need a sleep aid, if you go to DJX's YouTube channel. I did a keynote a couple years at DJX, and we brought up Information Society. And I talk about how I felt that they were probably one of the most underrated electronic groups out there. They were so far ahead of their time. So yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I have a question for you, Todd. Are you in the witness protection program? I can't see you.
No, I just didn't put any of the backup lights, but yeah, no, I wanted everybody to see all
I know.
my cool mixers I've put up on the wall.
I know you're there somewhere. I just thought maybe you were in witness protection or something. Okay.
I just don't have the lights on tonight, but yeah, like saying all the cool lights on all the old mixers I've hung on the board behind me, make sure everybody can see that.
I love that shit. I love that shit. I have.
Todd's got a really good idea though, but why don't we do this in the chat? Tell me, what was the first like DJ gear you played on? I'd love to see that in the chat while we keep with the questions. But like the first gear you had, for me, it was Newmark, like the Newmark turntables that were the knockoff of the 1200s. But you have to start somewhere, right?
I had the realistic mixer with the 2 Fisher turntables.
I
Realistic
had
mixers.
two SL 1200s. Still got them set up in the studio at all times. I got a couple different DJ stations, and though my turntables are always up and ready to go. And with my turntables is still my very first mixer that I used with those turntables, and that's a GLI PMX 9000.
Yeah. Before I digress here, let's bring in Michael. Have you unmute?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What up?
How you doing, Michael?
What up? I got a question for you there, HK.
Shoot.
You got a lot of music there, and I've been looking. I bought 2 copies. We have a DJ store around here. It was just strictly for DJs. It's called Looking Back, Volume 11. Now, on that volume, it will have a remix of Free. It's a whole remix album, and it's really awesome. Every time I go on eBay, sold out.
I have to look for it. I have not seen that.
I mean, even if you can find it for me, cost is nothing. Just shoot me something and let me know. And then I have another question. I believe it was Kevin. He popped on there a little while ago.
Oh, the first question. Yeah.
Yeah, a while back, he was doing karaoke and everybody laughed about it. But I belong to a site. It's called Mark, called okieworld.net. Free site, the whole 9 yards. You can get your karaoke, you can get all the older music, you can get all the older nows, all the older everything. So it'd be nice to see some of you guys pop in, join up. There's nothing.
Michael, you had a question?
That was his second question, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's it. I was just looking for Kevin because I believe he said he was from Lancaster.
Oh, I think he's in Florida.
Florida,
Yeah, Kevin's,
okay.
you'll find him in the private group. Yep.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
And we got one more from DJ. D. So let's have you unmute and join us.
Hey guys, yeah. I just wanted to simply ask a question. There's so many schools out there to learn scratching from because I blend well, all of that, but there's so many sites you could pull scratching tutorials from. HK, what's one site that you trust, hands down, best place to go learn and doesn't cost an arm and a leg? Sure, you pay for value, but I thought I'd ask this room to just drop it in and chat where they think, and if it's your site, sure, obviously it's your favorite, but HK, what would you use?
Wow. Mr. Lee, thank you for asking the first question in my career.
Oh, wait, what?
HK muted.
Where'd he go?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there
Okay.
you go. You're back.
Okay. I was saying, Mr. Lee, thank you for asking the very first question in my entire career that I cannot answer. And I am so sorry. My deepest apologies. I've never not had an answer to any question my entire career that someone has asked me. Like you said, there's a whole bunch out there, and I've never worked with any of them. So I wouldn't want to recommend to anyone because unless I know firsthand, I don't want to put my stamp of approval on it. And I've never worked with any of them. So I would say maybe talk to some scratch DJs that you know, because sadly I can be of no help in this circumstance.
Come on, gotta support the family.
Yeah. No, I would definitely get your hands on that course if you're looking to get started. Rigoza, much like HK, is a bountiful amount of knowledge that, man, you need both. So definitely go hang out with Evolve DJs. And you got another course tomorrow night. Is that right, Radio?
That's right. Tomorrow is our new tradition. We named our sessions now. So Mondays we have our scratch workout. And then tomorrow is our mashup mastermind, because we're talking about all things mixing on our Wednesday sessions. So
Fantastic. So there was an answer. It just didn't come from me.
No, you were honest with it, though, because you haven't had your hands on it yet. So,
yeah.
All right. We're creeping in on that time where it's getting late for a lot of the time zones, but I always have a good time hanging with you. If you had a good time, will you put a 1 in the chat for starters? Okay. Keep that going.
I had a blast.
Did you have a good time, Howard?
This was fun, man. This was super fun. I love seeing all the hackers, and it's always fun to do a crate. And my first time walking through a crate live. Obviously, I post my crates in Crate Hackers all the time, and we work on the charts and everything. But this was very cool. And I have to say, how about ones in the chat for Aaron for creating this incredible community?
Oh, you helped me get it started, but it was a necessity, I think. DJs do not talk about music enough. We simply do not. So you can now count on it. We're going to dive into the crates, the charts, every Tuesday night. Do me a favor, will you? If you did enjoy the show, I'd like it if you do me a favor this week, or maybe right after this. I don't ask a lot of favors, but if you could do me this one, tell 3 friends this week. Tell 3 DJs somehow, maybe in a DM, maybe in a text. Yo, man, these hackathons are bomb. I'm really enjoying this. Maybe join me. Would you like to join me? Get your DJ buddies to join us. Here's the catch. There is no catch. This is free now. Crate hackathons are public. You don't have to be a Crate Hackers member. You can invite people on the outside to come hang with us. That's our free gift to the industry. I will be here every Tuesday dedicated for you, for the DJs who do not talk about music enough.
And speaking of free, do our Crate Hackers know, Aaron, that my VIP crates are now available to everybody?
Barely scratched the surface of all the goodies. Yes, HK was one of the original VIP members. And let me show you a little something that might be different to the website. We did update the site recently. Notice that HK and Janai are missing from the VIP crates. That's because they're now in the crates for free. You're giving us free crates now? Is that what's going on, HK?
That's what's going on. That's what's going on, man. A plethora of hits, mashups, throwbacks, new music. Yep, every single crate chock full of sonic ear candy.
It's not just the crates that you built. These are the shows from that syndicated mix show that you produce nationwide. Yep. So every show that I used to bite off of back in Montana when I would syndicate your show, we're still getting those weekly in the Crate Hackers community, and we used to have to pay for them. Please recycle the ones, bring them back one more time. HK is giving you that goodness for free now, starting today. HK crates are free. I repeat, HK is free. Anybody who is getting charged, cool, don't worry about it. We're never going to charge you again for it. So thank you all. That was awesome. HK, I love you, man. Come back sometime. Jem, thank you for coming back. Sick Miller, Nigel Harwood, Radio. Ones in the chat for Radio are our amazing host, Michael Demby, Angel, Troy Bird, Brian, Michael James Castro, J Dowd. We don't hang out enough, man. J Dowd, by the way, is doing something really special in his community. He's in the Boston area, and he's doing his very own miniature hackathon. I want to encourage everybody to do that. I want you to build your own. This is not just behind garden walls, my friend. You can do this with your DJs. We'll give you the format. We'll show you how to talk about music and give you a crate at the end. That's exactly what we did tonight. We built a crate, and you can build it in your own hometown, in your own network. Tell 3 friends about the hackathon community. Bring them back next Tuesday so they can see how it's done. That way you can take it back to your neighborhood and talk about the music that works for you. We realize these crates simply are good starters. We do get complaints. People say, oh, these crates, they're pretty generic. Or these crates are just repetitive. Okay, fair. But what did we do from the beginning? We're giving you the hits. The 60-40 approach will always be that. We will keep you current on the latest trends. Stick with us, because that's our motto. We're going to help you find the hits faster. And that's what hackathons are for. So come back next Tuesday, tell a friend or 3. And if you watched the replay, subscribe on YouTube. Thank you again. Catch you next Tuesday.
Everybody have a great week.
Happy hacking.